So hey there, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sonika and today we're going to be exploring color correcting. So people are usually scared of color correcting and there's a lot of buzz about it. So I'm just going to break it down for you and make it easy for you to understand, and it is something which I think is one of the most essential steps for your entire face makeup. So for today we have the Simply Nam's Hydrafit Colour Correctors. These come in three different shades. We have 2 ml and they retail for 599 rupees. So the three shades in this range are apricot, peach and brick. It is gonna be chosen based on your skin tone. I am gonna be showing you the swatches, application, step-by-step way of using it, how to apply it, what to use to blend it out. So let's start off. These come in a transparent plastic packaging and the shade names are given below over here with the name of the product as well as the brand name given on the cap. The cap just opens very easily and it has a stopper end to avoid too much product from coming outwards, and it comes with a doe foot applicator making it just perfect to apply it correctly on all the areas. It's perfect to apply it on spots too. So let's talk about the texture of this product. This is a liquid corrector. It's super lightweight and it just blends effortlessly on the skin. It's not a runny liquid, it's kind of like a creamy kind of a liquid. It's not thick though, it's rather very thin and lightweight. It blends smoothly, it just shears out really well too. I really like the formulation of this product for that. So we're just going to jump into the swatches and then the step-by-step application of the product and understand more about color correcting. So I'm just going to add the swatches for you right now, and if you look at the shades, apricot is meant for the lighter skin tones. This shade has a pinky peachy undertone which is going to work really well for the lighter skin tones. The second one is peach and this has more of a peachy coral undertone, and this is going to work really well for medium skin tones. And moving on to the third one, which is brick, this is a lot more orange, it's more richer and a lot more darker, which is going to work for the deeper skin tones. So most of the times when you do your makeup after your foundation and powdering it down, you would still notice a couple of acne scars peeking through, and you'll also see a little bit of the darkness in your under eyes. For some of us, it could be hyperpigmentation around our mouth or the cheek area or the forehead. So basically, your foundation as well as your concealer cannot completely cover any kind of darkness or discoloration on your skin. And to help that out, we're going to use a color corrector which is going to neutralize the undertone which is already existing on your skin. So just to explain this a little more easier for you, I'm going to drop the color wheel over here. So this is the entire color wheel, and if you look at the color wheel, any colors which are opposite to each other in the color wheel will neutralize it down. For example, hyperpigmentation, dark circles as well as acne marks, they have a bluish tint when it's on the skin which looks a lot more darker. And to compensate that and to neutralize that color completely from the skin, we use an orange toned color corrector. So applying this product is not to cover the discoloration, it is to neutralize and cancel out the color on the skin. So color correcting will be done in the order of cleansing your face, and then you'll do your skincare routine, followed by priming your face, and then comes color correction. So all the three shades in this range are just made for Indian skin tones, and it's going to ensure that you don't end up looking way too orange or it does not look too light on your skin. Color correctors are one of the most underrated products in the entire makeup game. A lot of us tend to think that using a full coverage foundation or a full coverage concealer will help you to cancel out any kind of darkness on the skin, but that is going to end up giving you a lot more of a cakier finish. Instead, it's a lot more easier to just go ahead with one thin layer of a corrector and then using a concealer and foundation instead of going with multiple layers of concealers and foundation, which is going to make you extremely cakey. So now I'm just going to zoom you a little in and we're going to jump into the application. So my skin is prepped and primed and we're going to do one side of my face. That way we'll have a good comparison once it's done. And then I'm going to show you how to finish up the entire routine. So I'll be using the Simply Nam's Pro Microfiber Sponge. It's a really nice, squishy, soft sponge, and I just dampened it and it just almost doubled up in size. We're going to use this to blend it out. You can also use your fingers to do it, and you can also use a brush to do it. Any of this will work. I've already tried it out before with a brush and my fingers. It just works absolutely well. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with a sponge on some areas, and I'll also blend it out with my finger. That way you'll have an idea about how this works too. Since I have a medium skin tone, I'm going to start off with the shade Peach. Important that you only use the color corrector where you need it. You do not need tons and tons of it. You just need the most tiniest amount. and it would just work its magic. So starting off with a little product right over here. I have a spot here, so I'm just applying the most tiniest amount of product there. The inner area under the eyes and on the side of the eyes. I do have some darkness here too. I'm just going to apply a little bit there. Spot one and another one and then another one. A little bit over here. I have some here too. Sides of the mouth, underneath the mouth. An extremely huge acne scar is right over there. And in this space too. So make sure that your makeup sponges are damp, and I'm just going to be using this, and we're softly going to blend that across on the skin. So ensure that you're not dragging it and you're just patting it down, because if you drag it, you're going to move the product around, and we've applied it precisely on a certain spot, right? So you want to ensure that it is correctly giving you the coverage on that area alone. We're just going to softly buff out the areas around the eyes. So let's talk about the consistency of the product. It's extremely creamy, very, very, very soft. It's not clinging onto any of the dry patches, and I do have a lot of dryness in this space. So it's not clinging onto any of the patches. It's very, very, very soft and cushiony, comfortable, and it just blends really smoothly. You can see that with just one dab, I could blend it like across that entire under eye area, blending the inner corner. I'm going to complete this entire C because that entire area is a lot more darker for me. So I'm just going to show you how I would do it with my finger. So if you have a spot, you can just directly apply it on this. Product is extremely lightweight and thin, which in my opinion is something very unique, first of all, because a lot of brands, including the high-end brands, they always make creamy concealers. And the creaminess in the concealers tends to move around a lot. And because it's so thick and creamy and it's very waxy, it tends to kind of sit as patches, especially like on the areas where we have like a lot of dry patches like acne scars and everything. So I like that this is very lightweight and it just feels like there's nothing on the skin. I really like that the product dries pretty well by itself, which is going to be helpful when you're doing your concealer as well as your foundation, because a lot of times when we're doing that, the corrector will move completely, and even though you've properly corrected your skin, by the time you do your concealer, it would all have moved. So this one is so thin and lightweight that it dries pretty quick also, and it looks like you don't have anything on your skin. So you can see on this side versus this side, I had a lot of grayness like around the mouth, as well as my chin was a lot more deeper and much more brown tone with a lot of old acne marks. And now you can see that it looks pretty clear and it looks very cohesive to my entire jawline, and the color is properly blending in seamlessly through. So the shade number 2 is going to be perfect if you're somewhere around my skin tone. So I'm just going to use a little bit of brick towards the uppermost side of the inner corner, which I haven't applied the previous shade on. So that one was much more closer to my skin, and I'm using brick on the areas where I have too much of darkness. So I just want to show you how this will work with a brush, and it's seamlessly blending it out. It's super lightweight, the product. It literally feels like there's nothing on my skin. It just feels like skincare. It's quite hydrating. It is not creasing on the under eye, especially because I have put the corrector directly on the under eye, and I have like a lot of lines on the inner side. I do not have any creasing at all. I really love the finish of that. So you can see the difference it made. I felt like the previous shade itself did a lot, and this is just making it look a lot more smoother and better. So here's a side-by-side comparison of my skin without the corrector and the correctors put on. Now we're just going to go ahead with a little bit of concealer. I am just adding it on the areas wherever we use the orange correctors. So ensure that when you're doing your concealing, you're patting the product in instead of dragging it. So if you drag it, you're going to end up moving all the correctors which you have so precisely applied on your face. I am just going to add a little bit of foundation, focusing mainly on the areas where I don't have any corrector and concealer. And I'm almost kind of just stippling my brush on my skin. I really like that the product is very, very, very versatile, and it's working across all the different brands, which just makes it a lot more easier and convenient for us as consumers to, just pick it up and work it across all the brands. So here's a side-by-side comparison of my face without any products, and this side with the entire base done. I think it just looks absolutely stunning. I did show you how it looks with just the corrector, And this is with my concealer as well as my foundation, and I just think it looks absolutely flawless. There is no creasing, no caking around the mouth area or the under eyes. There is no lines which are coming in this place, which is something I absolutely love, because a lot of times the correctors will all leave extreme amounts of texture. They're very cakey and thick, whereas the Simply Nam's formulation is light and it's just comfortable. It doesn't even feel like I'm wearing any kind of extra amounts of product. It doesn't even feel like I have too much of makeup on my skin. It doesn't even feel like I have makeup on my skin. It's extremely light and very comfortable too. So this is my base completely done. It's super flawless. I do not have any caking, no lines, no separation. There's no demarcation lines of the corrector too. It just looks extremely comfortable, very smooth. It's not clinging onto my dark patches too. So these give you full coverage, and you need the most tiniest amount of product to cover up a larger area. So these are gonna last you a very, very long time. So these are extremely pigmented and they have very good coverage. So the most tiniest amount of product is gonna be perfect for you to cover a larger space. That is gonna make the product last really long, and it's also gonna give you a much more smoother looking finish, and it also works with any concealer, any foundation, and it's very versatile in nature. I really love the formulation, and I feel like it's almost like skincare and not makeup. It feels really good on the skin. It works very comfortably. It's beginner friendly too, and it's super affordable. So correcting is a must-have step, and this is a must-have product to do that. It is going to work with all of the correctors and concealers. It's extremely versatile, easy to use with any makeup blending tool. You can use a sponge, you can use your brush, you can use your fingers too. It just does the job really well. It's fuss-free, beginner-friendly, and super easy too. So you can always drop me a comment if you're confused about which shade to use, and I'll let you know which shade will be perfect for you. So tag me on Instagram if you use these. I would love to see the finish and how it looks on you. So the product names, the shades, and the link will be given for you in the description bar below. You can always go ahead and shop it directly from there. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video was helpful for you. Until next time, bye bye.